Hello everyone, welcome! We're pretty excited because we finally get to draft Amonkhet Remastered for real. We did a couple of test drafts on mtgadraft.herokuapp.com this week just to see how drafting it felt. Felt pretty good. We've been talking about the differences between a triple set versus a two-set drafting environment. So basically remembering back to Hour of Devastation Amonkhet and looking ahead to Amonkhet Remastered, what kind of differences are we expecting? The main one we talked about is that synergies that you remember from Hour of Devastation are likely to get better in this format if they're still here. If the support cards are still here and at the same rarity, you basically get a third pack of support for some of the synergies that Hour of Devastation offered. And it also reminded us how awkward it is and was for designers and players to make these multi-set blocks work in terms of cross synergy. It's a real tough challenge to design a sequence of sets to be consecutively added on to the draft environment and have it be smooth, seamless, and fun throughout. Because you need to set up your set one, but set two needs to work with set one, but they all drive each other in ways that just make it a very tough job. And actually, I think the triple set world we live in now is great for limited. It makes the job easier for R&D to make fun limited formats, and that just makes things. And then it's a more fun experience to me to draft 3 packs of the same booster, knowing that I can expect some level of these commons to show up every single pack and plan my draft around that. You can just do a lot more synergy planning, and I think that makes the draft format a lot more interesting, and we're going to try and prove that out today and see what we can find in the rare slots and what that drives. I know there's a lot of weird stuff in this set, too. It's not just Hour of Devastation and Amonkhet. It's also things they wanted to slip into Historic and eventually Pioneer, because it's clear that now Arena is headed towards Pioneer and is trying to capture those players. And if you are such a Pioneer player and looking to fill out your paper deck, you know where to go for that, right? CardKingdom.com via my affiliate link. Oh yeah. If you are there from my affiliate link, Card Kingdom knows you watch my stream and that you hear my message and that you help me out by checking them out, and then they are happy with me. They keep sponsoring me. I stay on the air. You get magic cards of exactly what you ordered faster than you expected, backed up by incredible customer service and incredible people at Card Kingdom. So please check them out and just keep in mind that even if you're strapped for cash right now, you don't intend to buy any magic cards. Even if you've never visited that link on my behalf, it's a no cost way you can support my stream. That's always useful. You could also another low cost way to support my stream is word of mouth. If you know other Magic players who might enjoy my content, please think to mention me sometime, and maybe we'll grow and grow and grow around here as we've been doing. Anyway, let's see what we can grow in this draft. I'm going to jump in. I expect it'll fill pretty quick here. Everybody's pretty excited about this. Why is it called Remastered, Herschel? Because they took 2 sets plus some other cards from throughout Magic and rebuilt it into a single set. So that's why it's called Remastered. And speaking of, we got the titular card of the second set of the block that's being remastered here, Hour of Devastation. This was pretty good, as I recall. I mean, it's a sweeper, right? So we can start on a red sweeper. Here's one of these deserts I'm talking about. Like, this is a big sweep in place to start, and I like it, although Ritualist is exciting too. This was a big engine card for Hour of Devastation draft back in the day. So now you got 3 packs for Ritualists. That exertion, to be able to exert and add 2, just allowed you to ramp from turn 4 to 7 mana on turn 5. And that just allowed you to do some really powerful things. I don't know if maybe that's just part of how they remastered it as part of one of the rules. What else are we liking here? I'm just taking some time. Exile target creature is good enough. But we're going to start with this sweeper. That's a powerful effect. So we want to try and make use of it. I remember Cartouche being pretty good. Just draws a card, so it replaces itself, and this is kind of like Rousing Reed, but cheaper. For those of you, so I kind of like that. Honored Crop Captain is again in Triple Amonkhet. Boros was incredible, so we could start here. Although Hour of Devastation is kind of a non-bow with what Boros is trying to do, which is to say, you know, Boros is trying to get big, get down, dump the hand and get wide. Hour says sweep. But you'd still play him in the same deck. It's just not a really replaceable effect, but also it could be like, okay, we don't play this, but we take this and play this. Our other option would be take like a desert. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cartouche, but I can't tell. But like Honored Crop Captain may be the best card, but I think I like Cartouche, and I don't like the goldness there, and I don't like the non-bow here. I don't know. That was a tough one. If you disagree with that pick, I don't blame you. I was not super confident of it. Puncturing Blow is fine for continuing down the red path. The red decks can be pretty aggro, but I mean, there are control cards. Like at the end of the day, red has removal. We picked up a sweeper. If we got card draw and removal, we would be a control deck. You know, it doesn't matter. But it may be tougher to play out because of that factor, though. I found this to be a trap. This is not great. More of a it's more of a hill giant. You need to have something really good in your hand, and then frequently you're giving up your champion to do it. You know, so that's why I don't like that. Ronus's Monument is actually pretty good for the aggro green deck, but because we have this Hour, I'm going to take the Puncturing Blow. Quarry Hauler on. I'm also kind of catching up on all this stuff, right? This is a complicated set, couple of sets. We can take a desert here. I wouldn't mind that. This kind of acts like ramp, you know, because you can untap lands. So, and if you cycle, you can do it twice or whatever. So Vizier is also not bad, given that we have the Cartouche. But I almost want to take start taking deserts here and see. If we end up black, we'll be happy to have this. It also does cycle, though. That's a good point. I'm going to take Vizier. This is the line, though, right? Like, this is this C plus B minus card, and I have a desert. If this desert were blue or red, I'll tell you this, I would take it. Since we don't have any black cards, I'll take the Vizier, but deserts are about that good. Like here, whoo, I see this, and I just snap my eyes on it, because we're heading towards blue. Going to be hard to find something here that I'll take over this desert. Another Vizier. I'm saying that right? Vizier. How many syllables is that word? 2 or 3? Two. Discard a card this is kind of has a sneaky unblockable, really. Who's blocking this? Vizier, says Hat. Vizier, kind of a Vizier. This just feels unblockable to me. Yeah, threat of activation just says first. Is it 2-1 first strike or 2-1 unblockable? I think it says 2-1 unblockable. This one literally says unblockable. I can't remember. Talk Crop Elite is somewhat of a signal here. Almost, you know, makes me want to take this on spec. We're back to Slitherblade. Media, who was it? Were you here yesterday pitching Slitherblades, or was it somebody else? I'm just trying to figure out if there's multiple Slitherblade fans or whether we talked about that when we were drafting before. I kind of ran out of time there and took the Elite. That's okay by me. I think this is a lean, like, really? This is a very good aggro card. If this is going to be here that late, I'm going to... But Slitherblade aggro is a very real deck in Triple Amonkhet for a week. This is where we disagreed. Like, I mean... I just don't think Slitherblade was a very real deck for very long. So yeah, as Tron warned, people are not respecting the deserts. This is a crime. I'm not saying you can't lose to a Slitherblade deck. I'm not saying the Slitherblade deck doesn't do something. I'm saying it was not some dominant force in the format. Greater Sandworm with the cycling, easy peasy here. It's a good card. Maybe we're supposed to be in green. I don't know. I'm just trying. This is wild. Like all these stuff. All this is good. I like every single card in our pile. Literally every single one is a high pick for me. So I don't even know why do I want off-color deserts, Texas? Because I'm trying to figure out what this pod is telling me to do. Because I will absolutely pivot into green if they're going to throw me sandworms and deserts, pick 8 and they're 9 and 10 or whatever. I'm going to listen, and I like cycling 6/4 here over non-cycler. But and again, I like every single card in our deck right now is playable. This is like the first card that I'm hoping that I would not want to play. And this sets us up to say, do you want to try Nicol Bolas, for example? We already have a lot of blue-red, and we have this desert, so I guess we have just different memories. I was in the building at the time looking at the numbers, though, let me tell you. Remember, I was working at Wizards of the Coast, and there was nobody in the building super concerned about how the Slitherblade deck was overperforming on Magic Online or anything. I think it got a reputation because Slitherblade got a reputation because of the Pro Tour performance right out of the gate. And then it lived on that reputation way more than on the results of the actual deck. But let's do this. Let's try it. And then a Fetid Pools. I actually think we pretty much want that here. Like there's desert. Both two deserts that I hope come back around, but Fetid Pools is a snap pick for me right after picking up Nicol Bolas with a lot of red-blue cards. So, boom. Some warnings from Tron. I'll figure that out in a second. Ooh, Gravedigger, since we're looking to Grixis it up anyway. I like Sand Strangler is going to be maybe even better, though. They're both 2-for-1s, but Sand Strangler is like a 2-for-1 in our color. And with the way people are valuing deserts, I think this is just gonna be a Flame Tongue Kavu. So as much as I love a Gravedigger, and if we were heavy black, I'd probably take the Gravedigger, but since we're primary red, we're taking the Strangler. Rags to Riches could help with some control, as I recall. Yeah, this is the kind of your -2/-2 sweeper. We can have a small stuff sweeper and a big stuff sweeper, although it's double black. We're looking to just splash the black for Bolas, so I'm looking at the desert here. And this is a good example of how I value the desert. If we were really dedicated red-blue spells, non-creatures, I think Riddle Form would be a consideration. Reduce to Rubble is a counter spell that, it's like a bad, this is not that great. It's a bad mana leak. So anyway, this is a clear desert to me. This is the type of place where, although maybe I should have taken the red desert, spread out our deserts a little bit. This isn't great. Aerial Guide lifts up others. Even Initiate is maybe a better control card because it gives you a couple creatures over time. I don't think we're playing this Taw Crop. I can get rid of that and the Sandworm and this desert. We're definitely trying to do the Grixis thing here. I think this is a little more aggro. We're trying to be control. I'm going to take the Initiate that creates a couple of itself. And here we have a third Vizier or a first Final Reward with the expectation that we are splashing for Nicol. So I'm going to take Final Reward. Another puncturing blow. Maybe just need a... We're doing pretty well on removal. I'm thinking we may need a Tormenting Voice or even a Neff Crop. It's not... we're not a very aggressive deck, but we do want to get on board. 1/5 does get on board. Maybe this is what we need more so than a net crop. I do want to get 2s down, right? We're pretty low on 2s, and we got a couple of those, but this is kind of what we're doing, so I like that. We'll take that. And then a nice desert pickup here. Maybe so, G'danmore. We'll see if it makes the cut. Here's a tough call on Red Desert or Essence Scatter. We have a lot of deserts, so I think we can afford to take a playable here, especially because we did futz around a little bit trying to find our lane. I don't like the crab. I mean, if this were a 2 and a blue, it'd be perfect. It is a little tight on the mana, though. I agree about that. We'll take another scatter. I think that's great, actually. A couple scatters gives us something to do on 2, if not creatures. This cycles in our colors. This cycles for colorless, but I don't think we're playing horror. Doesn't really matter, though. Here's another one. Here's that reduce that I don't think is good enough. This is too aggro for us. None of these are going to make our deck. I'll take Vault Progress, really. We're not playing that cartouche, though. This is not a deck for that cartouche. Not at all. And neither for this. I'd rather have a cycle crash through. Ominous Sphinx is probably our grab here. A little air elemental with some upside. There's, of course, another desert, but we'll try and take that. We can... Enigma Drake. I mean, if I'm willing to play an Ancient Crab, I should be willing to take an Enigma Drake, right? Flying effectively 1/4 over... although, I mean, Ominous Sphinx... Let's see. Maybe we do just need an Enigma Drake more than an Ominous Sphinx. For casting cost reasons. I think I actually like that. I'm shifting to that. Yep. This is a curve consideration and a job consideration. Really what I want is 4 toughness to defend, and so let's get that early. I like card draw here, given our removal. We have Open Fire we could grab, but we actually have... we have Puncturing Blow, we have Hour of Devastation, we have Final Reward, we have a couple of Essence Scatters for the early stuff. I just like Illumination to... Oh yeah, Thirst, sorry. Thirst might be even... You know, Thirst is more removal, but man, I want some card draw. But yeah, Thirst is 2 mana removal. I'll take the 2 mana removal. I kind of missed that the Thirst was there. Thanks, Tron. I'm sold. I'm not sold on much here. I guess Evolving Wilds. I know yeah, sorry, I missed that. That's actually pretty great for this pack. This is just whatever. But Wilds in our 3-color is perfect. Rivulet is a desert, but not the kind we want. It's ironic, but the common deserts are... for the most part, better than the uncommon deserts in the format. Struggle, though, is a fine removal spell, just as a 3-mana red instant. Nothing else really pushing it. This is why I want card draw, though. We're trying to be a very Grixis control deck, and we have access to the removal colors in red and black, but that's why I want to get the card draw in blue, so that we don't just do the thing where we trade for a while, then run out of removal, and then whatever they have left gets it done. Second, Ronus's Monument. If anybody ended up on a green path in this draft, probably rewarded by the monuments. But we're going to take Voice. Yeah, it's not the card draw I'm looking for, but it's a card draw I would accept if we can't get the good blue stuff. And Aven Initiate is fine. We already have one of those, but it's not that exciting. I like going for the card draw. Here's another desert we can grab over what? Non-creature spells keep this big. The deserts are a card draw, but it doesn't mean I don't want the blue ones as well, Jinx. You want the 2-drop. Which one? I am gonna stick with a desert pick here. First, red desert is fine. Another Evolving Wilds. There is another 2-drop. We could pick up one of these two. Because, yes, this is aggro, but again, we don't want to be without anything to do at 2. But Wilds does just fix everything perfect, right? I'm taking the Wilds, and we solidify our mana so much that we can kind of pick what we need from the rest of the pack. And I think we're pretty close to a playable deck anyway. We're not that aggro. That's the thing. I think that's correct. This is maybe playable. It's not our main color. It's our splash color, so we don't want to, but we could consider it. Do we need Naga Oracle for some defense? Like eventually, we also have to make sure we have the spells here. So I think we might need to make sure we have playables. So I'm going to take Oracle just to make sure we got the creatures, the creature count, and on that front, Firebrand Archer, fine as well. I like that. Very late rest. This is playable in aggro, playable in anything really. Nothing here matters for us. Might be short on playables, but we have a lot of cycling. Seems like everything's open. It's like, is it possible for all colors? I guess everything but green was open. Although at the end of pack 1, even green looked open. Now then, yeah. See, like with all the lands we have, we barely have playables. We get to make like 1 cut. You can run a lot in this format. We're basically going to be running a turn behind and counting on our removal and defensive speed to get there. Yeah, we pretty much have to cut this mummy, and then we're like at 40. Why is this here? Is there a green spell? Oh, it's the other side of the struggle. Got it. Maybe need to play another crash through just to cycle through. Wait, wasn't there a crash through in already? And then... Oh, sorry, the 2 on here is just perfectly blended in the art. That was weird. Skadoosh, you sit down. We also can't submit yet because we don't have a legal deck. Settle down out there about lands. Yeah, what is that? Why did they make that worse? I mean, that's just bad graphic design. When you're going to overlay a number over an inconsistent background, you need to give your font a border. This number should have a border. It should like be a white middle and a black border or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. That seems like a visual bug that they'll probably fix. I mean, that's not right. Do we want more lands when our cyclers are lands? Yeah, you can actually play more. So we could go to 18 on that front. But with crash throughs, we can also just accept crash throughs as thinning our deck a bit. And consider, is there anything we just hate? Ancient Crab, not great, but we'll run it. Puncturing Blow. Reduce. Oh yeah, Reduce I hate. So I think we cut Reduce. And then we add a couple lands, and we run an 18-lander with a bunch of cyclers. And yeah, just curve into Bolas and cast Bolas early. And I don't even know what he does. I'll read Bolas when we finally resolve him. How about that? I just assume there's awesomeness here. I literally haven't read this yet. So we need ourselves a swamp, though. Anybody redeem land? Let's see, Mirage Lands for World Hates Paul. You got it. Thank you for identifying, making it easy on me. We go, although I know exactly where they are, too. They're right at the beginning. It's funny, we don't actually have room for many basics. But I think that's a good thing in this format. So pretty. Mirage Lands are very good. They're like the best of the old school stuff. No, no, no. Did you cut my swamp? You even cut my swamp? Oh, I didn't know it would cut my swamp on the suggest. Oh, well. I don't think you can. I don't know. If somebody can tell me how to set a default land, I'd love to know. But yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lands that enter tapped. Is that too many? And if so, what are we cutting? I kind of want to just try it. I think we have the control shell here to make everything tapped work. Which just means we're kind of a turn behind with the deck, but I think we have the tools to do it. I'm going to start there and then try. And then we can see if it's feeling too much. This is where, like, data points, you don't want to have results-oriented thinking when making changes to a deck, but I'm calling out ahead of time that I'm not sure about this. It might be too many. I'm not sure how fast the format is. If we feel like I'm going to play it a couple times as is, and then if we feel like we're getting run over, we probably have to back off on ETB tapped lands. Yeah, we're doing that right now. Although let's see what does this say we have. No, I want this. Yeah, so we're going to add another. Let's see. That's 7, 8, 9 sources of red. 1, 3, 6, 9 sources of blue. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sources of black. 995 seems good. And then we got to make one other cut. I guess I'll just cut one of the crash throughs. Kind of the worst of our cycling in that way. Although it does help, like, what was the Enigma Drake lights a crash through. So there's that. How are we doing on creature count? 11. Yeah, that's about what I knew we were low, so that's expected. You want to add a swamp? But we don't need double black. Why? I don't understand why we want to... we just need the one swamp and we're good. So I like this. We are so much in the desert, we got to make a sand joke or a thirst joke or an oasis joke of some kind. How about... Yeah, we can make a... I don't want to reference Bolas directly, though. Just Desserts is good. I like it. Very, very good. And we'll make Desert of the Mindful our box. Oh, no, not for opponents, for YouTube. I put the name of my deck in my YouTube video name, and I don't want spoilers for our YouTube friends. Hey, YouTube friends. See, I didn't spoil it for you. I didn't tell you in the name of the video that we got Nicol Bolas. I think that's the joke, though. I like that it's desserts. That's the joke. It's funny either way, but I'm going to go with this. You would do blades over cartouche. Let's see how prevalent 1 toughness is, right? That's true. Jinx calls out that this is a pretty weak card, but I don't know if I like Blades over it over just like the Crash Through. You could actually get me to believe that we should be doing this, but I don't know about Blades. If we see that this format is dominated by one toughness, then yeah, but I'm not quite there yet. Let's play the format a little bit and then see if we think this is good, Jinx. But I do like the call that that Cartouche has ended up not being good here. Ah, yes, that's what Tron was saying. I'll be careful about attack all exerting. Now, keep in mind, I have played with exert on Arena before because we actually had these sets in development when I was still on the team. So I have experienced the attack all and exert issues. Very good, Scotty. All right. Let's get on it. We'll get to the battlefield right here. And all right, well, let's par this because who knows? What do y'all think of this one? Is this deck great? Are we going to 0-3? I don't know. I like our chances, though. I think the deck is pretty good. I think we can keep this. We got our sweeper. We got a 2-drop. One lander is risky, but we are running 18, and we do have a 2-drop play. And we have a cycling, which we can do next turn. I think I like Minotaur for the sure play over scattering something we're not sure about. So yeah, this background Media was saying was so confusing, so off-putting that Media is considering abandoning Arena for a while if they can't, and I can see why. This sand is very distracting. All right. I like so we are again we're effectively like we're expecting most of our land draws to enter tapped, and the question is that how devastating, no pun intended, is that for us here? At least in this case, we have the scatter, we have the activation here. Are we racing though? I like just sitting back on D with this dude. Our plan is not aggro. Our plan is go long and win a long game. So we're gonna try that. If we come up with something to scatter, great. If not, we're going to cycle the Ceradon. This is a great card, so happy to scatter it. Ancient Crab. Looks like they're not attacking into this right now anyway. I think I want to cycle here. If we happen to find a basic, we can play the crab anyway. But we want to hit our land drop, so we need to cycle, even if it means we don't play anything this turn. And it means we're not playing anything this turn, unfortunately. More ETB tapped, but at least it's land. I'm happy to see that. I'm going to not do the Crash Through. Aven untaps. This is a great exert combo, right? You can exert something every turn. We're going to go ahead and drop the Evolving Wilds and the Crab, though. And because my memory is so bad, I'm going to crack and find the swamp now because my EV is worse trying to remember to do that at the end of their turn than it is to just do that right now. And yeah, there's our... I feel like we're going to get... We have Final Reward that needs casting too. My assumption is we'll find our red soon enough, but the black needs deliberate finding or we're not going to get there. Yeah, there's some tweaking they could do to make this board not as rough as it feels right now, but it definitely feels rough right now. I can't remember. What does Naga do? When Naga enters the battlefield, look at the top 3, put any number of them into your graveyard and the rest. Yeah, great. So we'll Naga now and set up at least some mana coming up, right? I'm still reading all these cards too. So in fact, I should be zooming on stuff more so our YouTube friends can pause the video and take a look, given that they don't have Cardboard Live. And actually, Cardboard Live should be turned on, and it's not. Let's do that. Choose up to 3, any number in the graveyard. Actually, kind of just want these, right? Yeah, maybe we don't need the island. Put the island in the graveyard, and then order... What? Look at this interface. Wizards, you got a little bug here. Visual bug. We're going to go with the mountain first, though, and then hold the Strangler. Yeah, good point. We go mountain, crash through, get Strangler, and we can play the Strangler right away. We might just hour, though, sweep the board and save the Strangler for their next play after a sweep. And yeah, I think with the addition of another Aven to the board, we should just take our 4 for 5 and then rebuild with our very strong follow-up hand. Yeah, we'll swing first, though. Jinx is right. Let's give him a chance to give us some damage. It is the hour of devastation. I could voice Bolas. Well, let's crash through. I don't know if we want to do Strangler for no value. I would rather continue the control angle and just sit. But I'm going to cycle this. And we will cycle away using black because we have 2 drops we might cast. Like that one. You don't want to cycle when we have Bolas in the sense that you want to be able to cast Bolas. Yeah, but we're going to, again, we are going to draw our lands, right? I mean, even if we draw Bolas right now and we're like, oh man, if we played our land, we could be close. I think that's not I'm not worried about making it to Bolas with this hand, right? But I'm going to keep the Strangler as removal. I think of this as a 4-mana lightning bolt with a creature attached, not a because we're control. If we were aggro, I would be more inclined to want to get him dead before we ran out of stuff, but our plan is to not run out of stuff. Final reward is an instant. Yep, we could exile it right now, but I do want to use the Sand Strangler, so we're going to strangle this. No. Not even, like, we didn't... at the time where we were implementing Amonkhet block internally, we were not at a place where we were doing complex boards and stuff. It was... Not that it was blank or anything, but it was not this dynamic stuff. What does Archer do? Great question. We got to read cards around here. We're not a card reading stream usually, but, we should read cards. Anyway, let's go. I can cycle. I want to do Strangler first, but it does leave me with the mana to cycle. So I should suppose we just cycle that, but I'll do that at the end of their turn. Let's Strangle, attack, and then cycle Vizier at the end of Oppo's turn. I like Strangling because I want to start attacking with this. None of these other removal options let us also start attacking with a 3/3. So it's gonna bump up. Okay. We drew that out of their hand at least, and we can still use Struggle or Final Reward to finish it off. We still traded Sand Strangler for a card, so I'm not unhappy. And we will go ahead and deal the 3 because now we can attack with Firebrand and happily offer that if they want it. Yes, we do get to untap target permanent. I don't know what good that's going to do us, but maybe we can catch him somehow. Catch him with Firebrand Archer. I'd offer that trade too, except they've made that now irrelevant. Unquenchable Thirst is a fine removal option here as well. Our removal hits everything, so let's just struggle it, I think. This is the least, or this is the most conditional. I suppose Unquenchable Thirst leaves it on the battlefield, so I'm going to go with struggle, though. And do it before they draw. I could have waited. It's like is that an instant? Yeah, I could have waited till their main phase or something. But I don't want to give them a chance. I don't know what we're playing around. I did the not sure, so kill it. Not much of a creature to use removal on, but that's how well our attrition battle is gone, that we can go ahead and just Unquenchable Thirst token and try and get this over with. We can even... We don't have the mana for it, but we almost have Tormenting Voice plus... we could Tormenting Voice looking for like a crash through and we would just win. Is that crazy? Probably don't need to do that. I'm just going to play the Entangler. Could go for the win looking for a crash through, but it just felt like, why would I pitch one of these to have a chance at winning a game that seemed locked up? All right, fine start. There we go. How does it look? We can cycle this and play these out. I love it. We're going to keep and not play the desert because our plan is to probably cycle it, or we can, well, I don't know. We do want a lot of land in the deck to get to Nicole. I'm at least going to keep, and then we can talk about it. I think we can at least wait. Although it's a one drop, like it's a way to use. Yeah, now I'm talking myself out of it. I'm gonna just play it. We need enough land in this deck that I'm just gonna make sure we have 4 untapped to start out with, and then yeah, and then we can decide on other cycling later, but I like playing that one. And there you go. That's why we want to get our friend Nickel out as soon as we can. Thank you, Fatty Chopper. Appreciate that Prime sub, and A. Carter following up with a 19-month resub. Thank you. Great to have you around, Carter. We are going to go ahead and play this land, send in for the obviously no block attack. You like Archer plus Crash Through. I like playing the ramp spell. I'm going to play the Ramper. Oh, can I not play this? Why can't I play this? Oh, because we're not at main phase yet. There we go. It's all right. First strike. Better look at these cards. A little Ramper of their own over here with the Vitalist, Hope Tender. So they're doing some serious ramping. But this Strength Exemplar, it's just whatever. We can double Crash Through. We gotta get the Archer down, though. Can't double because we gotta go Firebrand Archer, and then we only have one. Oh, we can untap. Sure, we might be able to do that. Let's start with this, though. Start with the obvious Archer.
Archer. Archer. Archer. Archer. Archer!
Crash Through. And with the Scatter and the Vizier, I'm going to just hold Essence Scatter here. We could untap a mountain and Crash Through again, looking for more land, but I think we're going to be better off holding Scatter. Especially because they're about, you know, our Scatter is pretty well disguised. This being a new set, our Oppo might not even understand that Vizier produces land for us. Obviously can't counter that with a Scatter, unfortunately, but they have a bunch of ramps, so maybe they'll still do some exerting and Vitalist stuff here to do something, cast something we can scatter. And especially if they exert this for it, that's good, you know, undoing that work. All right, here's another desert. It's not a black not a black land, so we could make a justification of cycling it to seek out the black land, but I think we start with a Crash Through, of course, so you can get it naturally this way. And then we can decide. So having another mountain to play makes me want to play the mountain and cycle the desert, because yes, we're trying to ramp to Nicole, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gets us 6/7 of the way there, but our 7th needs to be black, so we may as well play this mountain and cycle this desert. Could even cycle the desert first, I guess. So let's do that. And there it is! And that's why I'm glad I cycled first, because now we can play the Fetid Pools and play the mountain next turn and actually cast Bolas. I'm glad I sequenced that right. I would have been embarrassed if I'd messed that up. And it really paid off. I should read Nicol Bolas because we're about to cast him. All right. 7 mana, 7 loyalty Planeswalker. +2, Oppo exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. Until the end of the turn, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. So we can cast things for free off of their library. +1, each opponent exiles 2 cards from their hand. Wow, so if they have 2 cards, we can just wipe out their hand. -4, deals 7 damage to target opponent, creature and opponent controls, or planeswalker. So deal 7, kill something. That's strong. And then a -12 that I won't even read yet. What are we going to have to do, though? Bolas is only going to be protected by 2 creatures here, because the Vizier has to tap to cast it. Yeah, that's frustrating, too, the delete options. So If we go +2, I like +2, get the loyalty up. And we get a creature, and then it's like something we can play. Yeah, let's go +2. All right, I think that's correct. Do I not have it? Oh wait, I didn't. I need to play land. Sorry. There we go. It's like I thought my math was good.
I have returned. A mind is an easy thing to waste.
It's a blocker, not a great one. About one of the worst cards we could get from their deck, but it does jump in front of stuff. Let's see if Bolas survives. Make all these blocks. Yeah, I'll move for loyalty. Good call. Let's go up. Let's go here.
Kill me.
They're going wide with this monument. Great. We now have something to do. I'm going to keep plussing Bolas.
You came here. You dare challenge a god?
When can we play it? Until end of turn. So gotta kill a 1/1. Too bad. Not finding great stuff on that front, but we do have... maybe I'm supposed to cycle this? I mean... Cycle tap. But it's untap, it's not tap, right? Cycle is risky. If we don't find something to play, we're in trouble to these. I'm just going to play it as a chump. I think it's valuable enough as a Bolas preservation play. We got chump, chump, and eat, so that's nice. Yeah, I could have put it there. Maybe I should have thought of that, of just reducing the size here. Because we do want to kill this thing. In fact, maybe what we're supposed to do here is, and this is, deals 2 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. Yeah, let's just pump the first striker, right? So we're going to pass here, chump here, and eat one of these here. I like trying to eat the Zealot over the 6/4 right now because the Zealot actually has an ability that targets Bolas directly. And we should be able to do the same thing to the Ceradon next turn if this all works out, right? Discarding any card doesn't do it. It needs to be part of the activation. It's not just triggered by discard or anything.
Cannot kill me.
Come on. The monument is strong, and so is your opponent drawing nothing but lands. Yeah, it's still a tough problem for them, and Burning Fist Minotaur is a threat to the Ceradon. I feel like I should be dominating more than this, you know? But we're doing all right. That's a fine get. Moloch as an attack, first striker on attack probably means Vizier needs to block the Moloch. All right. Our opponent decided we were not gonna lose with Bolas. Sorry, the stream's been rough, Jinx. I'm not hearing it from anybody else, so I would try a restart of your system, maybe? Well, it's like, I hope it doesn't sound like I'm complaining. I just am. I think you need to be on edge and always be worried about losing, right? Like if you get too confident that your Bolas is just going to do it, that's when you lose, right? So I hope I'm not coming off as complainy, as more like, don't screw this up, Ryan. How are you gonna manage to lose with Bolas, right? This is a great opener, though. We can cycle if we feel like we want to. We can ramp if we want to. But we got all our colors. This is great. That is a good name. I'm with you, Frieder. Fart jokes are always funny. They're mostly funny. Oh yeah, here I can go back so you can see it. This thing's annoying. Afflict. Whenever this creature becomes blocked, defending player loses 2 life. Again, there are some aggro spots where suddenly you can't win because they just need to attack, and they win if you don't block. They win if you block. We're not there yet, though. Do we want to cycle one of these? I think yes. Actually, wait. I'm gonna. We may. Let's see. We have red cycling. I'll untap the mountain in case we find our red cycler. No. All right. We're gonna go hard cast the Vizier, though. It's a good blocker for the Eternal. Looking for one of our many deserts so the Sand Strangler can do its thing. What was that? How does that work? Oh, prowess. I missed the prowess part. No blocks. This is a solid blocker, though. So is just an initiate. As long as it doesn't get first strike, I'm happy to trade off an initiate. It's kind of the job in this deck to trade off. Holding the Strangler till we find one of our many deserts and just drop an initiate. Well, this isn't a desert. We want to get Flame Tongue Kavu value out of that bad boy. Could have done final reward. We do have mana here, but I like how Vizier is holding off the 2/1s, so I'm not looking to use it as ramp right now if we can help it. Afflict here. I'll put it up there. Whenever this creature becomes blocked, defending player loses N life, where N is the Afflict number. Riddle form. Final reward is an instant, which is nice when you're facing something like Riddle form. Starting to face some good decks here. Demonic Tutor has some serious action going. I like their deck. Very aggro. We're at 14, even though we've not really been attacked. The Archer's doing work. I guess the Weaver got us once and is going to get us again here. But we're going to take it, and we have plenty of outs. If we have to, we just final reward next turn. But I'm hoping we find a desert so we can strangle the Eternal, and then we can deal with the Riddle form later. Red-blue is a very tough color pair to find overlap besides spells matter. So you end up with a lot of spells matter archetypes in that pair, for better or for worse. I like it. I think it's a fun style of archetype. Now, Burning Fist. We have 6 mana total, so we could do land. We'd have to be prepared to like pitch something though. I kind of just want to go Burning Fist, Minotaur, hold, and see if they're bold enough to attack into a possible 4/1 first strike. And I got to play my lands though, so I'm going to play that. And if we have to, we'll pitch the Entangler. That's my thinking. I'd rather have the threat of activation on the Burning Fist than the Entangler on the battlefield is where I'm at. You may exert battle... Okay, exert. Whenever you exert a creature, you may discard a card if you do draw a card. So whenever you exert anything, you get to rummage. Great. That's what we wanted. Our defense to hold. Now we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are 1 mana away from Bolas. But now I just like holding up pitch. Well, I guess I can hold up. We can't play this and hold up Final Reward is the problem. We could play... Yeah, I'm just going to pass. Since this seems to have worked with what they've got, I'm going to pass and hold up Final Reward and or Burning Fist Minotaur activation. That's the card that I almost picked, but we didn't get any copies of, and I wish we had one. We got a lot of cycling to help draw cards and stuff, but boy, I would love a hieroglyphic. Well, no longer. You think we're dead? We're low, but I don't think we're dead. Yeah, we're gonna kill Rear Form here, but we gotta make him decide to attack before we do that. Okay, so they are willing to... This is just a straight eat. I like going to 4. It's a little rough with the Archer, but we can eat, kill, go to 4, and then have Bolas ready. Maybe Oppo not reading the first strike? I don't know. Taking out the flyer instead of the ground 4, since this is just tougher for us to manage in the long run. Yeah, desert would be fine. Give us a desert, and then we'll strangle the Eternal, or maybe even strangle the Archer, given that we're going to 4. But let's see what we draw. Hopefully it's lovely. Come on. Hey, pretty lovely, pretty lovely. Means Vizier, we're actually 2 mana off from Nicol Bolas, but wiping this board is going to be great. Maybe. There's some haste, I'm sure, in red. Let's see what happens here. Ugh, reloading. So jelly. Unquenchable Thirst. Pretty pretty unbelievable that we don't have a desert yet. 15 cards into our library. We have like 1 million. I think it's 1 million. Maybe it was 999,999, but I think it's 1 million. We can go Net Crop Entangler Thirst, though. Have to do it. At least it doesn't tap it, but it'll do 2 and then won't hit us again, ostensibly. Just dead? Question mark. Initiate. Come on, deck. Oh man, that's too much. That is too much. And somehow, our deck cannot find one of its infinite deserts. Really sad. I mean, you can even be in the graveyard. Do you see this? Look, like, you can even cycle a desert and it still works, but we still couldn't get there. All right. I'm calling that a good deck, and some medium variance for us equals loss. It was unlucky to get that unlucky against such a good deck. I don't want to take anything away from Oppo's very good deck there, but we did get unlucky. We're 2-1 though now. Let me adjust this. No red yet, but with our splash color at the ready and a lot of red in the deck, and an Oracle with any land on 4, we could get run over, but I am going to keep this. Haven't seen hyper aggro yet. I just feel like now I'm going to face it, right? Because this is fine if we're against something even remotely slow. I'm going to risk it. We'll see. Freak shows like in the battlefield, it's pretty controversial. Some people find it super distracting, and understandably. All right, coming up Millhouse here, we found our mountain for a turn 2 Archer.
Archer.
What?
Archer.
What?
Archer.
What?
Archer.
What?
Archer!
Name dropper.
Ooh. Ruthless Sniper is ruthless indeed. Probably means this is just dead, and we get to see if y'all are right about Slitherblade. We get to put Slithery to the test. I was loud. Let's see. Oh yeah, that didn't get leveled. That was my fault. Sorry. Should be better now. Let's go wilds with nothing else to do here. Actually, we should probably cycle the desert, or cycle the Ceradon first, and then play the wilds. Let's see what this produces. Puncturing Blow, good, because we may need to, we got to find some removal for this stuff, and we can go get our second red source now. And I will attack, because I'm expecting the Archer to be dead. And I will get our second red. Remains to be seen. Now, we have Puncturing Blow, but we're not under huge pressure. I'm going to Oracle and set up our draws. Bolas. Yeah, we can do Bolas. We have the tools for it. Do we want anything in the yard? I guess we can pitch the mountain, right? Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then Vizier will be 7. So I'm going to send mountain and then draw these. Oh yeah, it's true. But I can. Yeah, now I've set it so I can't do this the way I want. I was thinking we would get him out early, but we can't because I can't crack the wilds. Yeah, the stacking is all screwed up, right? Draw from the bottom of the deck. So not going to shuffle away Bolas, but that means we're not going to be able to cast next turn. That's all right. Yeah, why didn't they attack with Slitherblade? Maybe they haven't read it. Certainly not the archetype it's meant for, as was observed. A lot of mana here. Is this getting countered? Like, I don't know what this open... It's probably just cycling for this stuff. Yes, but that doesn't do much. Does it matter? I didn't think there was a different East. A difference. If someone can point out how that would be better, I'll think about it. Hey, fool. This is rough. I thought this was damage. I forgot this was counters. Our stuff is going to get whittled down here. Hey, they read the initiate. Now we can play the wilds, crack it, and decide maybe we just need to puncturing blow the sniper. But this is going to get Nickel dead, right? We probably just need to puncturing blow the Shimmer Scale. And that is a sorcery. We'll do it now while they are tapped out. Yeah, ideally we don't use the Bolas kill mode. That's what I'm trying to do. See if we can do this without using that mode. Let's do this. And Bolas is, and our removal spell are the only splashes, so I'm going to get more blue. Extra red. Maybe red was it, but we do, I mean, yeah, maybe extra red because I've got the red Wrath. That's fair. We effectively have extra red, though. Like, we're fine on colors. It was a minor choice. Quarry Hauler. So they're going to double counters on the Oracle. Hopefully, we just untap with Vizier. That's what I'm mainly concerned about here. Yeah, it's true. We can get 2 of their 3 cards left. And it still pluses Bolas. I do think that has some sense. And I like that we can play the land and cast Bolas and keep Vizier up on D. And
Can protect you now.
Hauler, if they can kill the Oracle, we might have to chump the Hauler, but I do like eating their hand right now. And also that showing them that we're willing to do that is going to make Oppo use it or lose it on their next turn. Like, they have to be concerned about us stripping their hand every turn now. Yeah, we can do the loyalty move. Thanks for the reminder. Ooh, nice. Well, Bolas is going to take some damage here. We do have an initiate that we can play to block. And Bolas going to 3 means we have to plus. So we're going to +2 and play an initiate, and maybe Oppo gives us a removal spell. Oh yeah, sorry. Blade means Bolas goes down even farther.
You'll pay for that.
I hope they'll pay for that, Bolas. Oh, look. Easy game. Easy game. Yeah, +1 and wipe and probably get a scoop. I'm kind of sorry, Oppo. Let's see. We can do anything else? Do we need to... No, yeah, there's nothing to do here. Playing a little constructed magic here in this limited event and making Oppos frustrated, I bet. I'd be a little tilted if that happened to me. I said kinda sorry, and I am kinda sorry. I'm mostly not sorry, but there is a little sorry in there. Oh, you're right, Razor. That's why I'm a little bit sorry. Because I would be so tilted. Yeah, that's the thing. On my to-do list, gang, is rethinking my layout. I talked with a buddy of mine. I may be moving to a green screen, thing where instead of this kind of layout, where like basically this taken to a greater degree. Like if we, well, why did you? Oh, I want this. It was this I want. So like, kind of doing something more like this, and using the left channel or the down. I don't know. I want to rework, and I want to get off. I want chat and me to get off the battlefield. But if I do that, maybe I can keep the lunchboxes then. Or if I stay on the battlefield, I need to move to a green screen. Like that's one. I don't want to. The lunchboxes are a favorite and everything, but it may be time to figure out a different way to incorporate the lunchboxes and get a green screen going. I didn't. Sorry, I was busy. Thank you for the cheer, though. All right, Jim. Jim likes the flavor win. Well, that's the thing. There's a lot of pushes and pulls. Jaranka doesn't want to see the screen get smaller, but that's where if I then that's where I think I need to move to green screen. If I move to green screen and put chat in a different place, like then I think we get to see everything. Exactly. I'm not removing chat. I think chat and the interaction between chat and streamer is the lifeblood of streaming in general. And YouTube folks need to see the chat to have any kind of connection to that engagement since they're not there live for it. Yeah, maybe I'll check with my fellow Magic streamers and see what they're doing. Anyway, sorry, let me update our record and let's keep going. 3 wins, nice place to be. We cleared the paltry 250 level and have hit 1,000 gems. If we can win a 4th, it's close, darn close to break even. Highly recommend it, Skadoosh, highly recommend it. We're gonna keep this and play the desert and then cycle the crash throughs, try to get an initiate on 4, and maybe we'll find some black mana before 5, but this is a keep for me. I try to do that anyway, although I just didn't do it right there. Read an alternative would be reading chat's questions out loud before answering them. Like I say, I try to do that anyway, but I still think... I mean, our YouTube friends can, of course, leave comments in the video if you have want to chime in on this, but my feeling is that our friends on YouTube enjoy access to the full chat experience. That's my assumption. If I'm wrong, they can let me know. Druid Tangler, we're going to try that. We're not trying to be aggro, but this is somewhat of an aggro start. Trouble with me, like, I mean, look at me though. Like, I think me trying to be the avatar actually makes me too small. If I'm going to be honest about it, we could actually block here and trade with whatever they're up to. We're just trying to go long. I actually kind of like blocking here and trading for something. My only regret here will be if they do something to kill our creature and draw a card. I don't know if there's 2-for-1s they're going to get out of this, but we are control in this deck. We are not aggro, even though this is an aggro card. So I'm going to treat it like a control card and try to make a trade. Hoodie B. I'm even just like struggling that potentially. And then we have Crash Throughs next turn if we don't draw a land naturally. And they didn't have anything, like, we can do this now, but it's easy to get too greedy with this stuff in general. But in a world with Exert, you could see if they want to Exert or not first, but maybe I should just ping it, take care of it right now. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to mess around. This is a very good card. I'm happy to trade 3 mana and a card for 3 mana and a card that's good. And we have tools to find our mana and remove more things and make it to a long game. Manifestation. I never really got this to work, but I mean, if you're heavy dedicated cycling, it can get awfully big. But I was just never really quite there with it. Now I'm going to go for a Crash Through, looking for land, since right now this is not really attacking us for much. We did find a land. It is not one that enters untapped, not shocking in our deck, but we do get to find our final reward mana. And I'm going to Crash Through again here. And that's good, but we're still going to play the Evolving Wilds, crack it for black. And next turn we have Final Reward if we need it, or Initiate if we don't. Our buddy is back. And that makes me want to play Vizier, because we could draw an untapped land and just cast Bolas on 6. It is Plan A, Skadoosh. Plan A is draw and resolve Bolas every game. Absolutely. Here we could... Oh, we can't do Bolas yet, so let's Final Reward the Monitor. It's an instant, though, so I'm going to wait in case there's something we desperately need to scatter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total mana. We could Initiate and then have Scatter and no Final Reward. I really want the Final Reward, though. I want to be able to take out their biggest thing and then untap and try to find the land. Although, again, we're likely to find ETB tapped land, so we might be a couple turns away from Bolas. Yeah, we could do Vizier and guarantee Bolas next turn, but do we want to run Bolas out before we've answered our opponent's battlefield? So, I mean, we can do it. I just don't think I'm going to run this out if we haven't addressed the Monitor. Yeah, I know. Again, though, I think when we can get away with not minusing Bolas, when we can actually use Bolas as pluses, that's incredible. So I'm just trying to be greedy enough to see if we can make that happen, but this is fine. I think we potentially kill it too, but yeah, here we go. I love it. So we will we'll counter this, kill the Monitor, and then we should be pretty clear for Bolas after that. What do I do for my chat overlay? Live in heinous denial. I downloaded something that I thought at least had reasonable readability, but this is just some option in the system that I chose. Again, I need to overhaul all that stuff and get it looking better. That's true. All right, since they didn't... yeah, I'm willing to minus. I was trying to do the Bolas thing where we don't have to minus him and put him at any kind of risk. There is a world in which they cycle and kill Bolas, but we'll make him have it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I have returned as the prophecy foretold.
Oh, I thought it was both. That was... sorry. I didn't know my own card. Oh well. I'll even do this. Well, let's see if we can still win this one. To be fair, I read it, and I didn't read it correctly. This wasn't a no-reading stream this time. It was a bad reading stream. I could play the land, and at this point, I'm going to try and cycle it. Really? You want to play this land? Nah, I think we want to get value. We want to get value out of our deserts now. Because I got to make up for this punt. I just threw away Bolas for 7 damage, so we're going to have to make up for it. I still think we're okay. That's how good we're doing here, is that, like, I just had an embarrassing bad read punt, and I still think we have a chance here. I just read it in order. I thought it was both, and then in order it said opponent. Like, the rules text in order started with opponent, so that's why I started there. But yeah, we're not out of this. Let's see. I'm going to start though with cycling the desert, although maybe I crack Evolving Wilds first. More blue. And now we have final reward at the ready. Oh, it's funny. I was like, why isn't it showing me final reward is castable? But the system does not understand untap lands well, so it can't figure out that we have the 5 mana for this. That's interesting. Worth noting that you may have some stuff you can do that's not highlighted. Got to watch out for this too. They can throw some -1/-1 counters around. They have double Deadlands and Desert to sack to it. Do I need to set stops? Yeah, I should probably do it on upkeep, right? There's, in fact, I should probably just do it now. The thing is, Vizier currently threatens. Well, the Vile Manifestation is going to get big enough, right? No, well, we still threaten a block here, so I'm going to wait. Let's see if they send Manifestation. It's a free attack, and they might have cycling, so I would be surprised if they didn't. And actually, with the deserts, it's actually not a good block anyway. I got to remember that Oppo can throw minus counters around here. So we're actually just going to we're going to go to blocks. Yeah, read your mythics. I thought I read it. That's a thing. Read your mythics and then maybe read it again. I actually did think I actually thought I read it there, and no, Ryan, you read it wrong. Embarrassing. Let's go get a couple more lands. We have the blacks. We don't need to futz with the swamp or anything. Yeah, it would be so boring if I'd let Bolas live. Because they have deserts that would just straight kill the Viziers. And I mean, then we may get to a point where we have to do that, but not yet. Let's see. Do we have looting? What is our rummaging situation? Do I need to hold lands for Tormenting Voice? We do have a Tormenting Voice, so I'm going to hold that land, but we can still play both of our creatures here. I'll attack. We can attack one with one and use the other to cast the crab. Probably just making him kill the initiate. Sounds fun, Fiddles. Yeah, first striker with discard likes having a spare mountain. Good call. Interesting. Very surprised they're using that removal. I guess it's exile. They don't want to have it double. That's sensible. Exile removal takes away the embalm. So, but I was thinking they would just use a desert on it. Now I'm throwing the crab in front of the manifestation for sure. It's a lot more likely to live at 5 toughness and frankly a lot less important than Vizier in terms of ability in the game. Although they're somewhat equivalent, I might rather have more crabs than Viziers at this point of our mana. Embalm, let me bring it up for you. The hanger says, you may play the Embalm cost and exile this card from your graveyard to create a token that's a copy of this card, except it's white, has no mana cost, and it's a zombie in addition to its other types. Do it as a sorcery. It's like flashback on creatures. Yeah, like, do we even care? I guess I'll take 3 for now. Because this can even get bigger, right? So, Enigma Drake, 5/4. Speaking of getting bigger, hopefully this can take us the distance. But I guess again with, well, they can make it a 2 toughness, but it can self-sacrifice, right? Yeah, so they can spend both their deserts to kill it. So we're still in a fight here. Yeah, it does have to be that expensive. And the thing with stuff like, so Invictus is like, wow, 7 mana, 3/2 flyer. That's not very good. It's free. It's like, it's a rider on the card you were already going to play. You know, a 3/2 flyer for 4 is standard fare Magic limited card, right? So you already get a fine card, a perfectly fine baseline card. And then, if you get into a late game situation, you get an extra 3/2 flyer. That's great and absolutely worth 7. But you're right that it doesn't read well, and that's something that design does take into account. When, let's see, was it... yeah, Innistrad had Flashback in it, right? We were considering... This was right after I started. It was kind of a story I heard about the development. But basically, if you look at there's an old card from Odyssey block that's like deal 3 damage, drain for 3, and then for like 8, like some absurd flashback cost, you could do it again. Somebody find me that card. It's like Cabal something maybe, or the original had a picture of the main dude from that set on it. Sorry, I mean it's. And, sorry, let me think about blocks. I am going to give up the crab here now. Or we can, yeah, we could, well, double block and kill, like, I kind of want to make them use the dead lands to finish off the Drake. But maybe it's time to just make the trade. We could. I suppose right now, assuming that this kills this just ends the game, right? So I'm going to not try and win with this. We're going to do the suggestion of... and also I'm going to throw this on it just in case they have something to kill a, I don't know, one power creature. 18 cards to 21. So if it comes to that, we are the ones in trouble there. What are our big finishers now that we've lost Bolas? We have Desert Ceradon. Sand Strangler could get us a 2-for-1. Don't have a lot of win cons past Bolas, though, so... Tormenting Voice. That's why we're... One of the reasons we were holding this mountain. I'm going to go ahead and cast that now. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, the flashback card, we knew that it was powerful, but it reads so bad that I can't remember if it made it in the set or not even, but it was like, I think it got pulled because it was too good of a skill tester, right? That excellent, experienced players, experienced with flashback, knew that this card was a bomb and effectively a great 2-for-1, but because it read poorly, weaker players were never taking them, and it striated the format too much. Yeah, I could have held. I'm getting distracted, but you know what I mean. Like it was too much of a skill tester. It was too successfully testing skill, so I think it got cut. Well, you need the right amount of it. If you have a format in which the weaker players can never win because of all the skill testers, then that's too good. That's too much of a skill test. All right, I'll take some scrying here. Yeah, if I made some suboptimal plays the last couple turns, understandable. Well, we're gonna bin the lands and keep the devastation. $20 to $12. So we got to find a way to close them out. Well, exactly. That's how the glory bringers are the opposite of that, right? Skill testers are to help the better players win, and big easy bombs are to help the worst players win. And you just got to be careful with skill testers being too good, especially at common. Well, this game has been a comedy since I screwed up the Bolas, but we'll see what we can do here. With the hour, we're just going to chump and hope that Oppo dumps some more stuff here. We just don't have much oomph left in the deck to actually win with. Really hoping to see more action, though. See Oppo drop. There we go. One more? Go ahead, play it. Dump that hand. Dump that hand. No? All right. Well, we're going to telegraph and crash in. Yeah, too late now. I guess I could have done a couple turns of chumping. Maybe that was correct. But I've committed now. But that's probably correct. I like that line better, chat. I was just excited to solve these problems. Well, this is a game that should have been over 20 minutes ago when I resolved Bolas, but I decided to pay 7 complicated mana to deal 7 to a 7 mana lightning axe. Oh, we gained some life though. They had to attack, right? All right. Well, we don't have the ability to, like, we're going to hit the bottom of our library first, so there's no, like, not drawing. We got to find something to kill with. Gonna save lands in case we find our 2-drop. Our Burning Fist Minotaur could help us get there. All right, that's really the best shot we have if they don't have removal for this. Let's see. I'm not counting on it. I'm crossing fingers, but I'm certainly not counting on it. It's big, but the Deadlands can make it small if Oppo can find another source. Reach. Whenever deals combat energy creature. Yeah. All right, so that does some stuff, but they still have to block. Maybe not this turn if they don't want to, but I'd be surprised if they don't. Sure. My further decision making. Oh, I got loose after that because I started talking about other stuff. I really try not to shame Scoop. I just try to write out my mistakes if there's any chance. It's a I don't know, like, I just misread, right? I don't know. I can't beat myself up too much. I'm not worried about it that much. Just got to try to win the game. Survive requires green mana. We don't really have that, right? I mean, I suppose I could add some source of green to be able to survive in desperation, but we just don't have the mana. And I'm going to play this, and it kind of forces them to find black and use the Deadlands on the Minotaur. Oh, Kitaski, I read Bolas's minus as deal 4 damage to an opponent and a creature they control, but it was or. And so I went with the ordering on the card, which is like opponent, and like, oh, I just dealt 7 to my opponent and that's it. Oops. Oops. Yeah, opponent or. I'm going to go for the extra damage while we can. They're about to get enough black to kill this thing. And we'll drop the archer as well. I adjusted the sound here. Actually, let me get that meme sound up, make sure it's good. Martin's wagging his finger at me. Shut up, Martin. He knows what I'm talking about. Where'd it go? All right.
Archer.
What?
Archer?
What?
Archer.
What?
Archer.
What?
Archer!
Name dropper.
Tight. They get to kill one and... Oh, man. It was tight. Now it's just a blowout. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Need removal. And we got it. Nice. Wow. What a... this got a lot more interesting thanks to my punt. You got to admit. You're welcome. You're welcome. Do we care about anything in our yard? I don't know if we have yard recursion. I don't think we do. I'll leave that there to represent like we do. I don't know if there's anything here that matters. We'll do that. Yeah, deserts. Well, the stuff that cares about deserts and yard cares about deserts and play just as much, so that part doesn't really matter. H. John Benjamin, yes. Bob of Bob's Burgers and Archer, and he's brilliant at both roles, and they are such wildly different characters. I love it. Wow. Did they have a million Deadlands? Yes, a million Deadlands, as it turns out. We haven't won this yet. That's the crazy part. Oh, wait. Why didn't they survive? Couldn't they have survived? I thought they had the sacks there. Maybe they could only do -2. Yeah, I guess they only had the mana for -2. Wow. Well, yeah, I think they could only activate one, and therefore it would have been Xaxes. Got it. Well, not my finest game ever, but I do get to put a number up in the right column. So yeah, don't shame Scoop. Figure out how to win anyway. Yeah, that's the game where I decided to take the best card in my deck and turn it into an expensive Lava Axe. Gonna keep this, cycle, play, and we should be in good shape. We can play this. Actually, I'll just play this out. This is our hardest one to cycle. Although if we do get the swamp first, we're happy to cycle this desert. But let's just play this desert. Turns on all of our desert synergies. Allows us to do the Burning Fist Minotaur. I believe Bolas is male. That I'm a control deck, and yeah, good game, Beta. I just I just absolutely punted that one part. But yes, my feeling, and I talked about it on stream. I was just saying, normally, like, we are representing aggro with this creature, but we're not the aggro deck, and I want to take Oppo off of ramp. Now, what are we doing here? Let's send... Well, we can just leave Burning Fist on D. Again, we are trying to be control, so I'm just going to stay back. Oketra's Monument is going to produce a bunch of creatures, so I am going to play our control role here. Rarely punished. Rarely punished. Fun guy. Desert. What do we want to do this turn? If we get another Vizier out, we really set up some ramp. I kind of like cycle a Crash through and play the second Vizier. But we need to figure out... Also, maybe just play the Crab. Crab blocks Stinger there. Yeah, I kind of like Evolving Wilds for land, play Crab. And what do we want? We got double red, we got a lot of blue. I guess we need a little bit more blue if we're going to cycle the desert. Lifelink as long as you control a desert or desert and yard. No lifelink yet. Gust Walker's a great card. So is Struggle. You get to kill something. We don't need to worry about what yet. I still like Cycle Crash Through as a starting point. We get our God. Now let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. I like play Mountain, play Vizier, cycle Desert, untap, play Bolas. Then we get the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're on track for Bolas next turn. If we, and I think we are wide enough to do it. And the exertion is nice here because that means this won't be attacking Bolas next turn. We're not wide at all, but we might be wide enough, especially with Bolas plussing to give us some extra action. Although an extra swamp here actually gives us another blocker too, but we could take a turn to continue to set up. I don't hate that. They're not. We could get discarded. That would be the worst case scenario here. So what about swamp? Oracle, set up the draw, have Struggle ready, struggle something before we untap, and then Nickel should be a very nice play. Unquenchable is a fine draw. Scatter, probably good, but we just want to throw this in the graveyard because that's a fine place for it to be. It's a shut up, Razor. But I think we want to keep both of these, right? I think so. So we'll do that. And then really, I guess we can't, there's no way we can scatter off of Bolas. So it doesn't really matter which order we put these in. I'm going to go scatter though. I want both though. So we do have this struggle, and I do want to use it, and I'm trying to figure out what, but I think it has to be the Gust Walker as the 3-power flyer that can do the most damage to Nicol Bolas next turn. So that's where I'm going to do, that's where I'm going to aim this. We knew Scatter was coming, and I think we're wide enough here to do the Bolas, especially if we plus and find a blocker off it. Or removal.
magnificence.
And some people are just like, I don't even want to fight that thing. Easy game. Resolve a bomb. Make him give up. Hey, look what we made. Aurora's deck went 1-3. That's too bad. Flat Pluto. I like that name too. You can't see it yet, but... no blue yet, but we have a Crash Through to dig, and we have an Entangler for 2. And extra draws with Oppo going first, so I'm going to keep this. Our mana is very good. We have a lot of dual lands and Evolving Wilds, or not a lot of dual lands. We have one dual land, a couple of Evolving Wilds, so I like our chances. Just so. Entangler can't do much attacking. I mean, I guess it could. We could attack as a 3/3, and that's reasonable. But I think just playing the desert, so we set up Vizier possibly next turn, or Scatter if we want to hold it up, is what I want to do here. Yeah, these are all added to Historic, and it's clear that they're trying to converge Historic onto Pioneer. It's pretty. I don't know. I didn't actually read the state of the game or whatever, but I don't know if they've said it explicitly, but it seems pretty clear to me that they're working towards getting Pioneer on Arena. Okay, yeah, I figured it was a stated goal because it was so obvious. I just haven't read the statements. Yeah, I'm gonna go with my. I mean, we could hold up Essence Scatter, but we need to get down a creature here, and if we get Vizier down, it sets us up to be able to like play Entangler or even a 3-drop and still hold up Scatter next turn. So this is the clear play to me right now. Well, it is now because it must be because it's in this set, right? Or maybe I don't know. Maybe they're willing to do some stuff for Historic that's not in Pioneer, and I don't know. Certainly, there's going to be an uncanny valley between Historic and Pioneer that probably means only one of the two formats can survive. This is a free attack for Oppo. We're gonna. I should read cards though. Whenever you activate an Eternalize or Embalm ability, draw a card. Okay. Double Scatter is interesting, but they're unlikely to cast 2 creature spells next turn. So I'm going to go Entangler and hold up a Scatter. This is draft. Info on the bottom is correct, although I guess it doesn't say draft versus sealed on it, but Premier implies draft. Yeah, I know there's some that are Historic legal and not Pioneer legal. I'm just saying I don't think both formats can survive. Tormenting Voice is... We could pitch Aven Initiate to it even and still have Essence Scatter up and would help us find land. I think I'm going to do that. We're not under pressure. We're not the aggro deck. I don't care about casting this Aven for 4 as much as I care about hitting my land drops and keeping up Scatter. Yeah, it's still a creature cast. It's just cast from the graveyard. Or I believe that. I should read it and make sure. I mean... Oh, maybe not. No, Embalm doesn't look like it's counterable. It looks like it's an activated ability from the graveyard that is not a creature spell on the stack. It's an ability that goes on the stack. Thanks for asking that, because I said the wrong thing and then realized, why did you say that, Ryan? You don't know. Hey, maybe go read. And... Oh, get you, my pretty. I'll do that. We have double scatter / cycle up. Yeah, I'm going to scatter mostly anything here. I want to hit land drops, but I also want to cycle my deserts. That's part of their value, because we are going to hit lands anyway. This is what I mean. You hit your basic land drops and cycle your cyclers. That's their whole power. Again, we have enough mana for the Aven Initiate here, but actually going to start with Fetid Pools cycle. That's good. Now we can play Island, Archer, and have our other scatter up.
Archer.
What?
Archer?
What?
Archer.
What?
Archer.
What?
Archer!
Name dropper.
Yeah. Somebody else can, please. Thank you. Festering Mummy. We have a lot of 1 toughness. It's not really our major concern. But... I don't know what we're waiting for either. Yeah. I'm going to scatter it. I think maybe I'm being loose with that scatter. I might regret that we just used that on this, but it does mess us up. It does kill some, it basically, if it dies, it kills our small stuff. Felt like narrowly enough of a reason to do it, but I did not love that. But here's another reason to be glad to have that off the board, right? Now that we're out of scatters, let's get into the air. Yeah, there are a lot of X1s for sure. Final reward. I was just going to quench it. Both of these do this a similar thing, which is say, Aven Initiate, you are a one-shot. You don't get to 2 for 1 with this side of it. So we'll use the final reward on this one, and then probably the Unquenchable Thirst on this one. This Archer does not have reach. I hate that. I think that's... I get that the flavor is that these pings to the face are the archering, but it throws me. Throws me that there's an Archer that doesn't have reach. Zombie token image. What are we looking at? This one? I could also be sandbagging creatures because we have a sweeper. And this isn't really getting through-ish, although it is, because we can attack and threaten the pitching. So I still like playing it there. Yeah, they don't have the 7 yet for their own flyer. Could also entangle, but not with a 2/4. It doesn't really do much. they could go for a double block, and then we can decide whether we want to pitch for. Yeah, if they're going to take it, we'll save our pitch fodder for later. Yeah, this archer shoots face, and that's apparently what she is archering. Not flyers. No. All right, I can do this. Although I think I just want to send in my... Should we offer the flyer trade first? Because we could... get that off the board, potentially. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, if it's if they take it, I can actually do the punt on purpose this time, right? Bolas is just so protected here. We're going to go after hand first.
Rejoice, for your god Pharaoh has returned. Pity, were you going to use that?
Card is dumb. I drafted it without reading it, and I was like, I can't remember exactly what it does, but I know it's dumb, so let's take it and build around it. And then we read it when we played it, and it was like, oh yeah, it is dumb. Well, let's 7-win our opening salvo in this format. I should add this to my decks. Oh, of course. Of course, my inventory is full, but I cannot multi-select because that would be too easy. So I have to delete these decks they added to my account. And it's probably still not enough. Sorry for the boring TV, but apparently this is what you got to do. I design these decks, these types of decks, so I have a lot of feel. I feel for the designer who made all these awesome decks I'm deleting. They do serve a great purpose. I just wish they would give those of us who don't want them easy ways to kill them, because all they do is take up in an experienced player's collection. All these do is take up slots that you don't want taken up. Like, look at this. This is crazy. Red Rum, I think, is the last. Maybe this one. I'll delete this. Well, then you get into the, like, you don't want to make it too much like a Windows system either, with nesting folders and whatnot. I think there's just, I don't know. It doesn't have to be ugly though. There's a better solution than that though, for sure, right? Because they haven't put that feature in yet. Because they decided that feature didn't have the return on investment to prioritize it over some other things. That's always the answer. It's not a very sexy answer. It's not maybe the answer you want to hear. But it is rarely they haven't thought of that. It's not like, I mean, we thought of that when I was there. We were talking about it when I was there. We were talking about how many decks can somebody have before manipulating them without tool support is oppressive or whatever, right? I mean, it's just like, they know. It's just a matter of time. Well, we got our god, and we've got a vizier to get there faster, and a struggle, and a cycler. So this is a keep. Hide feature would be interesting. Hide default decks. That's reasonable. Wizards provided decks do not impact your deck maximum, and there's a single click to hide them all. I like it. Or just give us multi-select. Just let me multi-click multiple decks and simul-delete. You know, does it. Tags are a thing that I think should just be used more in Magic in general. I was a big proponent of adding tagging, custom tagging to like deck building filters and collection filters, so that you could tag stuff as removal, sweeper, whatever you want, and then, you know, filter it by yourself. But it was just another thing that never rose up high enough on the to-do list, honestly. We need our lands. We can't play anything this turn. I'm going to go ahead and play another tap land here so that we can do something on 3. Although I could, I suppose, play a mountain and be able to cycle. I still just like deploying our tap lands. Sure, I don't know what you mean by custom categories versus tagging, but that's effectively what tags are, right? Custom categorization. On the play, or on the draw, the scatters are a bit worse here, of course. What are we doing now, though, to survive? Harsh Mentor says, whenever an opponent activates an ability of an artifact, creature, or land on the battlefield, if it isn't a mana ability, Harsh Mentor deals 2 damage to that player. That does mean, these are not mana abilities. Even though we're using them to untap lands, largely, this is not a mana ability. So Viziers are pained by the Mentor. But this is the bigger concern, especially longer term. I think I like Vizier here, taking 3, blocking the Mentor, but then we got some stuff to figure out next turn. Again, my concern is some cycling thing that gives them a 2-for-1. Maybe more experienced Ryan in this format knows exactly what I'm playing around. Here, I'm going to block, hoping that at most we trade for something in their hand. But I got to block with my 1-3 against aggro decks, or what exactly am I doing? Now we could do a cycle and still have struggle, but I would rather have struggle and essence scatter here. So we're gonna, and this is an instant, and Essence Scatter is an instant. So we play this and pass and have both of our instants up. I think we definitely block here. See what they want to do, and now I do think we need to struggle the Mentor, even though this is bigger and will get even bigger. Mentor is going to do more damage to us. Yeah, we could hard cast this next turn on a basic land draw and decide that's our play. We have red. I mean, we have Vizier. It can be red or whatever. And do we want to cycle it, though? We could cycle the Vizier. We might just want to play this. Blocks everything. I mean, it trades with this if they empty their hand. Yeah, I'm going to wait. I think we actually want the Ceradon, potentially this match. And we can get Crash through here and still play the Vizier. And do we still get Scatter, though? I want to make sure... Nah, I guess we don't get a guaranteed Scatter, so I'm going to go Vizier and then Evolving Wilds and keep our Scatter available. fetch our black source for Bolas. Now we have a possibility of threatening a double block on the lizard even. Ooh. Well, we got the scatter for that. Good thing. Yeah, well, it's mixing two formats that weren't necessarily aggro. We could cast Bolas right now. We do have the mana with the Vizier, but then we kind of have to go minus. I like waiting on Bolas here and actually just crashing, first cycling the crash through and then just hard casting the Ceradon. Or, this is even better. You're counting on something that's not guaranteed, mathematics, and I've hit some. I don't know. I think this is pretty safe and reasonable. We get to final reward that. Might even wait another turn here. Yeah, I like final reward here still. Final reward, crash in. Exiles the Embalmer. Clears the way for a Strangler. If they were playing black, I'd be worried about discard, or blue getting stuff down through counter magic, but red-white, we get to resolve Bolas, so I'm just trying to be patient with it. I'm willing to do it now, though. Talkrop can go ahead and knock Bolas for a couple. I'll go ahead and minus looking for something, or plus looking for something from their deck, I think. Is Oppo going to read or scoop? Or read then scoop?
Gods can protect you. A wonderful addition to my army.
I don't know about Monster Train, but I did talk about showing some board game arena. Ah, nice. We'll take it. I spray you. I'm going to say no attacks. Might as well just preserve Bolas's loyalty, and we can't really lose. I haven't read his ultimate yet. Let's see. Exile each non-land permanent in your opponent's control. All right. I'm going to plus again. We have our own Ceradon. Yeah, this turn only. Our turn. Another magma spray. Interesting. Doesn't do anything though. We'll go with Ceradon. We go to face with this? No, it's creature. Cast spray for cycle? What do you mean? I just did it because whatever. I didn't think there was something useful we could do with that. Was there? Yeah, I could have left it in exile, I suppose, if we thought that was a thing. I don't think it's a thing. I was just being cute. Now I'm trying to decide what our play is. I think we just drop our own Ceradon, though. I'm pretty happy with that as a board state. Yeah, we could have two-spelled and still had something that trades with the Ceradon. If they answer our Ceradon, though, I'm willing to chump it with the Vizier, so they need like 2 removal spells to really threaten Nicol, and even then, Nicol's at 3 loyalty. I think it's more of an all roads thing. Nicole. Yeah, this is Nicol's sister, Nicole. Nicole. We're gonna just try the trade here, and I don't know what they're up to. Is there a deal 4? I don't know what can deal 4 to us, but I also don't see why I shouldn't just chump here. I'm going to keep digging through their library, and now we have a lot of stuff we can cast as well.
I can break this world. You came here with a plan.
Play this, and we can discard the crab if need be. All right. 7 wins for Ugin. I mean, you were talking about Ugin, so I said Ugin. 7 wins for Bolas. It's 7 wins for us too, but really what we did is successfully build around our Pack 2 Pick 1 Bolas. I'll take it. Great way to start the format, huh? All right, YouTube friends, that's an easy way to go about winning some Amonkhet drafts. If you want to lower your degree of difficulty, you can choose to not minus or plus Nicol to do 7 damage to an opponent's face. That was a fun way to make a game interesting. But we did get there on the 7-1. So fun times, really fun playing that card, and really nice that we found the tools to stay alive until Bolas could take over the games in which we didn't punt with him. So thank you, Nicole. That was great. And thank you, YouTube friends, for hanging out. We'll catch you the next one.